Go and tell you what the man that knew it all told me.
Okay.
What I should have
Okay.
seen.
Okay. I'm not telling you what you should have said. I'm just saying that's what most people would expect.
But I'm going to tell you what
Okay.
the gentleman told me that what I should have seen.
Okay.
And that I was so out of it that I didn't see this. I was so excited and shook up.
But you weren't excited because you didn't know what going on.
I don't know what the hell he thought I was shook up or shut about, but this is what he told me I should have saw.
Okay. Okay.
I should have saw the police chief's Curry Ford car on the left side of the car.
Okay.
I should have seen the Secret Service in the back of him.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Now, all this congestion that I should have seen was not there.
Was not there. The president wasn't even in the car.
No, there was nobody but these two people.
Just those two.
So help me God,
Okay.
if I was to tell you anything different,
Right. It would be different than your eyewitness.
why would I be sitting here?
Amen. Amen. So
there was only this one guy laying on the back of the car.
And
he's laying. Now, let's get to what he was wearing.
Okay.
This is what makes it so confusing.
Okay.
And people laugh at me for saying, oh man, you're crazy.
Yeah.
All right, what he was wearing on that car and wearing was a suit, brown, like copper colored.
Copper.
It's copper, it's a brown, just a sparkling, it's got black stripe or pinstripe.
Okay.
Suit, brown shoes, the whole system worked out real good for him. He was well. Now you say, how did you observe so much in such a time? Well, if you're looking and you're thinking and you're watching something, you can absorb some of this stuff. Now, there's a lot of things that I did miss, and I'm sure there was a lot of things I would like to go back and redo, but I'm giving you the basics that I saw, and I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
Now, as far as me thinking that that's the president's car, I did. I really thought it might have been the president's car, but they might have took him out of it or whatever. But anyway, we're going about business. Now that car has gone on.
Okay.
And passed me.
Okay. Just to clarify, he was in a brown, copper-colored suit, had black stripes, and you saw
it was little looked like needles, you know.
Okay. Pinstripes.
It was just going down.
Okay.
It just set the suit off.
Okay. And they were the only two individuals, the driver and that man hanging on the left side on the railing. And nobody else was in the vehicle.
So help me God.
Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, and he drives on, and what happened?
Now,
okay.
There's a lapse of maybe 8 to 10 seconds.
Okay.
Or a little longer.
Okay.
Nothing else has come out of the tunnel.
Wow. Nothing. Okay.
So
now this is the first tunnel right as you're standing on the grassy knoll. We're not talking about another tunnel later on. We're talking about as you're standing on the grassy knoll.
There is no other tunnel.
It's that tunnel that you see when you...
He could not... Let me explain something.
Okay.
Okay. The three tunnels that you see, Main, Arch Main, Elm, and...
Commerce?
Yeah, Commerce. Commerce is the farthest one.
Yeah.
Elm is the middle one. Main is the middle, and Elm is the back.
Okay.
Okay. Now you're looking at these three, but there's concrete between that, and
yeah.
You can't turn over that. Or I guess you could, but I don't think you could do it in that limo because it's so low.
Right.
So there's only one way you can go, and that's that way.
Yeah.
And that's toward me.
Okay.
Are we into that?
Yeah.
Now, I've come up to all conclusions of people telling me that you wasn't tall enough to see in the car, you were dumbfounded, you were trying to make publicity for something that I don't want nothing.
No, you just want to tell the truth.
I just want one thing to be known.
Yeah.
I don't trust none of the some bitches that's in the Secret Service or otherwise. And if you want to confer with anything else, I don't believe I trust anything in the police department of Dallas, if you want to know the truth. All right, now we'll go on.
Okay.
Because now we've discussed the part of what did you see after you saw the car that one went by? I didn't see nothing.
Okay.
I didn't see nobody else coming. So I know it would have had to be seconds.
Yeah.
But I am not going to stand there and not see nothing come out.
Right.
And I look up there and all it is a big black hole.
Yeah.
And if you remember,
well, you're looking in the tunnel. Yeah,
it's 12 o'clock.
So it's dark in the tunnel.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So I decided right back up the thing. I went right back up the thing and right back over and to the police officer that was standing up there.
Yeah.
And I said, sir, what happened? I don't know. I said, boy, I don't know what happened either, but I know there's something going on. And talking to him over the radio of his three-wheel motorcycle came a Latin Americans going out West Davis.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you can hunt the police department up and get that recording, you can understand that I'm telling you the truth. Now, as we stood there and in what we call a blank stare at each other, Over on the other side of the Stemmons Freeway, now it's a little drop off there because it's is 1, 2, 3, 4 lines of motorcycles, like they would ride in a parade.
Yeah.
Going.
Wow.
South.
Okay.
Now either they could go to Oak Cliff or they could go back down into Dallas. I don't know what they did.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's the story that I have for you.
Wow. Okay.
Okay? If we go any further, the only way that I found out the president was shot was I went up to a flower shop. The reason I had to stop at the flower shop was I had to find the address that I was going to because I had it delivered and I don't remember what the address was, and I called in.
Okay.
In doing so, the flower shop had a TV, and you know who was there? The gentleman who said, the president has been shot. And
was that Walter Cronkite?
That was Walter.
Walter Cronkite, yeah.
Walter Cronkite. He said the president has been shot.
That's when you first heard that the president had been shot. The policeman didn't even tell you.
The policeman didn't know shit.
The policeman didn't know. Okay.
I'm going to be truthful with you. This is blunt, folks.
Yeah.
The policeman, he was as lost as I was. I mean, he didn't know what was going on. Furthermore, if you really want to know the truth about it, that officer should have never let me go down there where I was.
Yeah.
Now, that's true.
Yeah.
And you know it to be a fact. Yeah. You wouldn't let somebody go that close to a president, whether you knew him or not, right. And we wasn't that close of friends, but right. I got to go down there.
Now, you don't know his name? You didn't keep up with him later, or did you ever?
I didn't. I think maybe one time or another somebody had mentioned something about Jim, but I'm not sure about that. Right. But the way you can check on this police officer, if you really want to check on this police officer, is go back to that date and find out what his name was that patrolled over off of Ross Avenue.
Okay.
Sat back in that north section. He patrolled all that north section for the meters.
Yeah.
And he was on a 3-wheel motorcycle, and he wore a white. They had a different setup for the ones that done meter reading. They were white hats.
Okay.
And if you want to find out who that was.
Oh, he was a meter reader on Ross Avenue.
He was a police officer that performed his duty by marking. They used to have a stick with a piece of chalk in it, and they'd go by marking tires.
Okay.
So this gentleman had been with the police force for a long time.
Okay.
And this was the particular place that I had seen him regularly.
Okay.
So if you want to check on anything like that. But it's just the point is you're not going to get anything done like that.
Right.
Now let me explain another thing too.
Okay.
If I'm down there and I'm not seeing anything and I'm not having anybody bug me or bother me or do whatever.
Right.
What was wrong with the Secret Service? Can they hear or see, or do they really understand when they're shooting at the president how many shots fired? It's kind of ignorant to me to figure out this, because if I can hear 4 shots,
crack, crack, boom, boom,
and these guys are standing up there in the midst of what all this takes place.
They're even closer than you were, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it that they were never asked, or why was it that you never seen, or why is it that it happened that nobody come forth? I didn't never see them up there before Congress, or that crazy book that they've written about the assassination.
Is that the Warren Commission?
That's a commission.
That's a. You obviously don't believe the Warren Commission.
I guarantee you what. I don't think the Warren Commission knew what they were writing either.
Yeah.
But now let's go back. Do you remember, or can you? How would I put this? When they first started telling you the story about Oswald.
Yeah.
Okay. They couldn't find Mr. Oswald.
Oh, there was something about he killed a police officer named Tippett or something. I can't.
Yeah, well, I don't know nothing about Tippett stuff, but I'm just telling you, this is the part I knew.
Okay.
Before Oswald, they were saying they were looking for Oswald. The last time they seen him was in New Orleans. Remember that? Remember he was handing out stuff about the communist.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But yet they had misplaced him somewhere, and they were looking for him.
Okay.
Now this is what we got. Okay. All the time they were looking for him, I guess, and I'm presuming that they were pretty well looking for him real sharp like.
Mm-hmm.
I was working for Jaggers, Charles and Stovar, which was a typesetting organization that done work for the government. What kind of work? We did map work and stuff like that for Georgia, and that was highly classified stuff. I presume I never seen the maps, but I was fingerprinted by the sheriff's department for clearance to handle this stuff that I handled to give them when it came to us. Now, according to the people that I worked with and I don't recall the gentleman, but he was Oswald. He was supposed to have been fingerprinted at the same time I was. And these gentlemen worked there where I did, and they called me and told me, hey man, you remember what, and I said, no, I really don't. Well, he said, he got fingerprinted. Yeah, okay, I guess that, what the hell has that got to do with me? I mean, he got fingerprinted. But the concept, after I got to thinking about it, my God, they didn't look very far for him, but he quit that job. He quit that job that was paying good money and went to the book depository.
Which is paying a lot less money.
Oh, well, I mean, janitor job was, yeah. And that didn't make sense to me at all, and it still doesn't make sense.
Now, he wasn't fired, you're saying he quit. He quit a good paying job to go work at a lower paying.
My understanding is he quit.
Okay.
Okay, that's my understanding from the people that I worked with, because I had left JC to go down to an engraving company.
Okay.
And what I understand from them is he quit that job, and they said, hey, the dumbass went to a janitor job. But then if you hear what was going on during that time, well, what they're trying to tell you, Oswald was looking for a job. He was over in Irving looking for people. He said he had to find a job. That don't jive. And I'm sorry, but I'm sure that if the gentleman, if they're still alive, that work for JCS, and anybody wants to subpoena any of them or do whatever they want to do, and believe me, they're not going to do that.
Yeah, not this time, yeah.
No, it's been 50 years, and my story's been going on for a long time. I was 25 when this all occurred.
Yeah.
And believe me, my hearing was good, and my eyesight was good. My eyesight's still good. But I will say this. This is the biggest mess that I've ever seen. And if you can knock off one president like this, what's to deter you from knocking off another?
Yeah.
Well, now we talk about, can you knock off another one? Well, they knocked off his brother. And that was another confused mess.
Yeah.
And what happened, it done it in the kitchen. Have you ever been in a kitchen with people all around you, and then somebody shot, and then everybody out there saying there's bullets all over the hole? There were holes all over that kitchen. Dumbest thing I ever heard. And it really makes me respect the law. If they can pull stuff off like this, same thing in Dallas. If they pull all this stuff off, then the guy that was going to be president supersedes anything that our state was required to have done. He got the president's body out of here, didn't have an autopsy, didn't do nothing. It was pure, get him out of here, clean it up, and go. They cleaned up the car, they said. They cleaned up everything. You couldn't find a speck of nothing.
Yeah.
And this gentleman that jumped on the back of the car, I don't want to say that.
That's Clint Hill, I believe. Clint Hill is a Secret Service guy.
That jumped on the back of the car.
I believe so. I'm not an expert, but that's what,
If he could just do me one favor, I'm not knocking him. He done his job, whatever it was. But if he would tell me how come there was a delay in the going under the underpass, why it took so long for him to go out of there, with the reply of everybody else that this one motorcycle cop said he was breaking the speed limit, he was driving like a bat out of cane, going.
Well, let me ask you this, Shorty, because for people that are familiar with the Zapruder film, there's a scene where the presidential car is going underneath the overpass, and you just assume it goes straight through it. But what you're saying is the Zapruder film was a big hoax. Now, I know a lot of other people that say that too.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Let me ask you this. Going into the underpass, from the side that they were on, if I can't verify this, but I'm sure they were black when they went in there.
Yeah.
The people that were up here watching this in this bunch of conglomerate where he was shot, they were running back and forth, they were distracted. They were not paying attention to what the hell that car was doing when it went into the underpass.
Right.
Now my question again, if you bring that underpass up again, is this. How did that black limo get in front of the president's car?
Right. Oh, the one you saw.
Yeah, well, you can't tell me he passed him in the underpass.
Right.
And the three motorcycle officers, they had to do a little wavering to get through there too, because they couldn't just putt the way.
Yeah, because you saw that firsthand. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just speculation, right? I'm not trying to say this is fact, but just based on your eyewitness testimony of what happened, the car that had the president had to get